Hey everyone, welcome back to another Explainer, where we take a deep dive into the real data to uncover the truth about a career in generative AI. Today, we're tackling a topic that is generating a massive amount of buzz and, honestly, a whole lot of confusion: prompt engineer salaries in India in 2026. If you've been looking into this field, you've probably seen a totally dizzying array of numbers out there. So we are going to cut right through the noise and give you the exact facts based on current market realities.
Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. This is the biggest question on everyone's mind when they start researching AI careers. How on earth can one single job title have such a massive and confusing pay gap? On the surface, it really doesn't make any sense. How can two people holding the exact same title of prompt engineer have a compensation difference of over 50 lakhs?
I mean, you see entry-level figures floating around the 5 lakh mark, but then you read about senior experts pulling in up to 60 lakh a year. It really makes you wonder what the secret is to hitting that top-end figure. Is it just luck? Is it strictly years of experience? Or is there a very specific set of skills that these top earners are kind of keeping quiet about? Well, to solve this mystery and give you a clear roadmap to that top-tier income, here's how we're going to break things down today. First, the great salary mystery. Second, decoding the modern role. Third, breaking down the numbers. Fourth, the skill progression roadmap. And finally, future-proofing your AI career. Let's get into it.
Starting right at the top with Section 1, the great salary mystery, and why these ranges are just so wildly all over the place on job boards right now.
Look, here is the absolute truth. There is zero standard paycheck for a prompt engineer in 2026. None. And that's simply because the title itself is basically a catch-all right now. One company might hire a prompt engineer literally just to test chat responses and flag errors. But the company next door, they might hire for the exact same title, but expect you to build an entire generative AI software system from the ground up. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, decoding the modern role. To truly understand the money, we have to look beyond simple prompts and see how the job has evolved. Because let's be real, prompt engineering is no longer just typing, "Hey, write a funny poem about AI" into a text box and calling it a day. Today, we're talking about highly complex instructions. You need to intimately understand target audience, structuring expected output formats, and advanced techniques like few-shot prompting, generating structured outputs, tool calling, and orchestrating full-blown AI agent workflows. It has completely transitioned from a simple communication task into a hardcore technical engineering discipline. And honestly, nothing illustrates the salary gap better than this. Look at RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is a process that allows an AI to pull in relevant data from external databases on the fly to use while generating its responses. The folks pulling in top-tier money, they aren't just writing clever text prompts. They're actually mastering advanced frameworks like RAG to build highly reliable, data-driven AI apps that solve massive enterprise problems. So, now that we know what the job actually looks like today, let's hit Section 3, breaking down the numbers and see how experience translates into cash.
When we slice the data by experience, freshers, those with 0 to 1 year on the job, mostly zeroing in on prompt testing, are sitting right around the 4 to 8 lakh mark. Now, fast forward a bit. Mid-level pros with 3 to 6 years who are actually working with APIs and RAG pipelines, they jump to around 12 to 20 lakh. But those seniors who are out there designing complete AI systems and custom agents, they are commanding anywhere from 25 all the way up to an incredible 60 lakh.
But it's not just about experience. Geography plays a huge role here too. Tech hubs like Bangalore are totally leading the pack, offering 15 to 20 lakh or more. Hyderabad is right on its heels at 13 to 18 lakh, and Mumbai is hovering around 12 to 17 lakh. Why the bump? It's simply the massive concentration of AI startups, enterprise research centers, and global tech giants in those cities. Oh, and side note, scoring remote work for international clients can sometimes push you way past these local market rates. Here's a massive pro tip for you. The industry you choose is just as critical. SaaS and product companies, along with fintech and e-commerce, consistently pay top dollar compared to your traditional IT services. Think about it. In a fintech or SaaS company, generative AI is literally baked right into their core products to drive automation and personalization. In traditional IT services, the salary growth is just naturally a bit slower. So don't just fixate on the job title. Look really closely at the company and their core business model. So if there is one crucial takeaway we can extract from all this market data, it is this. Experience matters, sure, but technical depth matters way, way more.
You could have years on the job, but if you aren't actively deepening your technical toolkit, your salary is going to flatline. If you stay locked in the basic prompt writing box, your compensation will absolutely stall out, regardless of your tenure. Which brings us to the most important part of this explainer, Section 4, the Skill Progression Roadmap. Let's talk about exactly how you can level up to reach those top tiers. Check out this direct comparison. If you stay a pure prompt engineer, meaning your day-to-day is just refining prompts and testing outputs, your salary hits a hard ceiling right around 20 lakh. But if you evolve into a generative AI engineer, meaning you're building end-to-end systems, writing Python, integrating RAG, and deploying full applications, your earning potential absolutely skyrockets up to 60 lakh or more. The job titles might overlap on LinkedIn, but make no mistake, the actual skill sets are worlds apart. To actually make that leap, you've got to follow a pretty specific evolutionary sequence. Step 1. You absolutely must solidify your prompting fundamentals, stuff like zero-shot and few-shot prompting. Step 2. You've got to learn basic Python scripting and how to interact with LLM APIs. Then, Step 3, you move into RAG and vector databases. Think Chroma or Pinecone. And finally, Step 4, mastering those complex AI agent workflows and evaluation frameworks to make sure your AI produces safe, consistent results. And I cannot emphasize this enough. You have to build real projects. Certificates are nice, but building a functional chatbot, a custom knowledge assistant, or a real RAG-based application, that is what actually proves to an employer that you can use these concepts outside of a controlled tutorial. Real hands-on experience with models like GPT, Claude, or Gemini is what will literally land you those high-paying roles. All right, let's wrap this up by looking ahead to Section 5, future-proofing your AI career. We want to ensure that the path you choose today means you're thriving during the massive industry shifts happening tomorrow. If you combine that deep technical skill set we just talked about with your foundational prompting knowledge, here's exactly what your long-term career progression is going to look like over the next decade. In your first couple years, you might be an AI content specialist or prompt engineer. Years 2 to 4, as you add APIs and RAG to your tool belt, you evolve into an AI or LLM engineer. Years 4 to 7, you're taking ownership of full features as a senior applied AI engineer, and at 7+ years, you're an AI architect leading the entire technical strategy. Now, here is a bit of a reality check from the data. The standalone title of prompt engineer is actually declining. I know, but don't panic. The skill itself is absolutely not disappearing. Actually, scratch that. It is becoming a mandatory baseline for literally every high-paying software and AI engineering role out there. Companies are just rolling those prompting responsibilities into broader application development. So don't box yourself in. Don't think I will only ever be a prompt engineer. Think I'm using prompt engineering as the ultimate foundation for a broader generative AI skill set. So, to all the freshers watching this explainer right now, yes, you can absolutely get a job today. But man, the competition is fierce. If you only know the basics of prompting, you are going to struggle to stand out. You have got to bring Python, API knowledge, and a solid portfolio of real projects to that interview if you want to beat the crowd and secure that 4 to 8 lakh starting salary. You have to literally demonstrate what you can build. Ultimately, the future of this industry isn't just about writing a clever text prompt. It is about understanding exactly how those prompts fit into massive, complex enterprise systems. You have a choice to make. Are you going to chase a fading, specialized job title, or are you going to roll up your sleeves, build the comprehensive technical skill set, and actually construct the AI systems of tomorrow? What's it going to be? Build the skills that solve real problems, and trust me, that massive salary growth will follow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.